UX questions. Your user experience questions answered in 3 minutes or less.
Terry from Cedar Rapids, Iowa asks, how long will it take to learn the basics of UX? I love that question. Thanks for asking, Terry. This is UX question number 12, and I'm Ben Judy. How long will it take to learn the basics of UX? Well, if we're just talking about head knowledge of essential UX theory, you can read a book, watch a few YouTube videos, and get the gist of UX in a day or two. Actually learning to do the work of a UX practitioner will take much longer. That's because UX is a multidisciplinary career field. Being a UX professional, even at a basic level, means you learn how to practice user experience strategy, user research, information architecture, interaction design, visual design, usability analysis, and more. UX work is complex and multifaceted. Realistically, you need to practice that holistic skill set of UX design and research and analysis for at least 2 to 3 years to begin to really build basic competency. People entering this career field are often dismayed to find very few truly entry-level job postings. Even job postings for junior-level UX positions say that you need to have at least 2 or 3 years experience. And this is why. You just have to practice it for that long to even begin to learn the basics. However, there are things you can do to accelerate your learning. Working across different industries can expose you to how UX work is different. For example, in a highly regulated industry such as financial technology or fintech versus, say, digital publishing. That's why agencies can be a good place to work early in your UX career, because you can get that broad experience very quickly. Another way to accelerate your learning is to practice the different sub-skills or sub-disciplines within UX. Seek out projects and opportunities to do the things you're not experienced in. If you have a solid grasp of the basics of user interface visual design, take the role of user researcher on your next project. You can also accelerate towards mastery of the basics by continuing to invest in ongoing professional education. Go back to episode 8 and hear me talk about the ways to learn about UX. Keep learning. And connect with other UX professionals in online communities, Slack channels, Discord channels, social media, LinkedIn discussions, good ones. Not the ignorant rants, there's plenty of that. But there's also local meetups and conferences. Hey, Malcolm Gladwell popularized the notion that 10,000 hours of intensive practice is required to become a master at anything. That's over 2.5 years of full-time work. The good news is it only takes another 2.5 years to become completely jaded and cynical about UX work. And then the rest of your career, you just fight to stay connected to what drew you to UX in the first place. Hey, it's Ben Judy, and thanks for joining me for another episode of UX Questions. If you want to submit a question, I would love to answer it. Just go to uxquestions.com, type in your question, and submit the form. You can also leave a comment on the latest episode on YouTube. I do read your comments. You can help spread the word about UX Questions by clicking the share, like, and subscribe buttons on any YouTube video, sharing links to the podcast with your friends, and by becoming a patron of UX Questions on Patreon. You can subscribe at the $1 per month, $5 per month, or $10 per month level with different benefits and rewards at each level of support. Just visit patreon.com/uxquestions for all the details. If I've learned one thing about user experience over the course of my career, it's that there's always something new to learn, some new question to be answered. So keep those questions coming in and keep checking UX Questions. Your UX questions answered in 3 minutes or less.